Well, there are dozens of coffee shops across the Chippewa Valley, and they all offer something different. But one new coffee shop in Eau Claire is unlike the others. Tonight, I take you to it in this story that is positively Chippewa Valley. Behind door number 4 in Banbury Place is a new coffee shop that lives up to its name.
I love working here. Some days you have, the same customers who see, and then they see you, and they're happy.
Not just a coffee shop offers coffee, food, and art, but the best part.
It's more relaxing, you get to meet a lot of different people, and it's fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Are the ones manufacturing your mocha.
They are so excited by working here. When they know it's their day, they are just gleaming. They're so happy to be here. Their customer service is outstanding.
The baristas here are area adults with disabilities. The coffee shop is the newest business with the Ellie Phillips Career Development Center.
That's why we are different than every other coffee shop in Eau Claire, because we don't only provide a product, but we provide a purpose.
The purpose? Giving these adults an opportunity to learn, socialize, and be a part of something.
Everything we do is training and confidence. So we do have cafeteria at CDC, and some of our employees work there as well. But this is a little bit different because now you're facing the public.
So when you're looking for a jolt, a quick bite to eat, or a friendly smile, not just a coffee shop is actually just the right coffee shop.
This is just it's like fun. They just light up and open up. And I would say every person that works here, they just can't wait to come back and work here again.
And Not Just a Coffee Shop is open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. It's located in Banbury Place on the first floor. Now to a story that will warm your heart tonight. Earlier this month, I went to an assisted nursing home in Spring Valley to meet 2 women. His rooms are right next to each other, but their connection is more than just a room assignment. Here's their story. In the village of Spring Valley,
she moved in first.
2 women have rooms right next to each other, but this isn't the first time they've called each other neighbor.
Oh, forever. Since we were about 14 years old.
Betty and Silva were 2 farm girls.
What? We used to like to go dancing, I say. Oh, yeah.
Who grew up.
We were always doing something.
As neighbors.
That's a long time ago, you see.
Their farms right next to each other for decades.
I remember we used to write to each other during summer vacation. She was always picking strawberries. One time I remember her telling me they left one basket out on the field, didn't remember to take it in, and it was all spoiled. We had so many berries.
Now, both ladies are more than 100 years old and still living right next door to each other, and both thankful that through all this time,
we were neighbors then and we're neighbors now.
You can always count on your neighbor. Thank you to Betty and Silva for letting me come spend the day with them. Now to the major headline around the world. Blue Origin's latest space flight that featured celebrities like Katy Perry and Gayle King, bringing them to space and back this morning. But that rocket has a Chippewa Valley connection.
4, command engine start, 2, 1, ignition.
A historic morning for space travel and exploration as a Blue Origin rocket blasted off.
Liftoff.
On board, a star-studded crew of household names, but watching on the ground, a name some in the Chippewa Valley might know.
I can't believe it. It's crazy because this never was on my horizon. I was like, oh, yeah,
Rob Balo is a Chippewa Falls native, now working for Blue Origin, and more specifically, working on the rocket that took off Monday morning.
The engine that flew into space was the one that I work on. So what I do is essentially do inspections and then maintenance and repair and overhaul.
He's part of a team of 6 who make sure the reusable rockets are ready to go again.
Because a lot of things happen when you go to space, really extreme temperatures, extreme pressures, a lot of vibration. It's a pretty harsh environment for anything.
But he didn't always dream of space and rockets. It wasn't until taking a class at CVTC that he found a passion for physics.
Instructor there, Mary Purvis, that I really loved, she was inspired me to get into physics. She was really cool and had a lot of information, and she basically just could explain the universe in ways where I'm like, that's so cool that you can like explain why rainbows exist, through just pure science. I've always had more questions than answers. And so I loved physics because it was just like, not only can we tell you an answer, we can tell you how we arrived at it.
That newfound passion led him to UW-Eau Claire, then to the University of Minnesota, and now to the Blue Origin launch pad, where he got to watch something he worked on take off into space and return back safely. Monday's flight was only Blue Origin's 11th human flight.
It's just, you're really pushing the limits of what's possible. So it's like, anytime you're doing that, there's going to be some lessons to learn, like when you're the first to do something, or you're like on the cutting edge of something, like you don't know what you don't know. And so that's scary.
But what he's not scared of, taking big swings, which one day may put him inside one of those rockets.
Do you ever want to go to space, or are you like, no?
Oh, I would love to. That'd be great. Yeah. No, yeah, it'd be fantastic.
Now, after the landing, Velo got to meet Katy Perry and Gayle King. He called King a treasure, saying how inspiring it was to see her get out of her comfort zone and face her fears of flying. I want to thank him for letting me talk his ear off tonight about all things Chippewa Valley and that incredible mission.
One small word can stop your whole world. Cancer. And while you try to process it, you're handed papers, pamphlets, and prescriptions.
You're overwhelmed. If you got your schedule. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have the mental capacity to read through it.
In that moment, you wish for someone who has been on that side.
Honestly, if you could just have somebody like talk it through with you.
Then you meet Stephanie.
You really don't get it until you've been there.
A former healthcare worker, caregiver for her husband during his cancer journey, and herself, a cancer survivor.
So I have this unique gift, I guess, if you can call it. I mean, I use my life experiences as gifts to help others. So I have this unique experience in a way that I can actually take it from every perspective, and I can like guide them from wherever they're at.
Calling herself a cancer doula, comparing the traditional term used for birth to the rebirth following cancer.
I'm helping someone who's had a cancer experience transform into a new person, because you come out the other side a different version of yourself.
Guiding them through the complex and layered feelings that ride shotgun on the journey.
You don't have to do it alone. We feel like we have to do this by ourselves, right?
She helps keep their world turning.
Let's embrace all of that stuff because it's real. Let's embrace the emotions. Let's embrace how hard it is, because it's hard. And why try to cover it up just because we have to, It's like, no, let's deal with this, because the sooner you can deal with it, the quicker you can heal.
This week, we've been taking you on the Spring Freedom Honor Flight that took 100 Korean and Vietnam veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit the war memorials dedicated to them. For one Vietnam veteran, the trip brought up memories and feelings that took him back to the battlefield.
In the crisp, dark, early morning hours of a May Saturday, a flurry of feelings.
What does it mean to you to be on this flight today?
Scary.
As dozens of veterans wait to board a plane.
Oh my God, there's 102 of them. 65 of them are Vietnam veterans.
To see the memorials and monuments at our nation's capital. And one of these veterans?
About a month ago, I got a phone call that says, Mr. Rocco, are you available on May 13th? I says, for what? He said, you're scheduled to go on a flight to Washington now. I'm not running for president.
Is Donald.
My wife says, you got 9 lives. I says, no, I've already used up 10 of them.
A Navy vet on the boats in Guantanamo Bay during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and then sent to fight in Vietnam.
By the time I was 19, I'd been in 2 conflicts already.
Now at 77 years old, he's making his first trip to the Capitol.
You relive history. I like reliving the history, but I don't. The past can stay there.
With mixed emotions.
I'm 50 years out now, so it's kind of a memory, but now when you see the names, that memory comes back all the way to 65. And that was a bad year.
Emotions brought on by war, loss, and time.
I had a choice to go back, and I told them absolutely no. They shot me once, and not getting a second shot. You come across the right name or something like that, and it's going to be, all your memories go from today all the way back 58 years ago.
The right name for Donald? His friend, and best man in his wedding.
If he'd have lived 9 more days,
he'd have came home.
21.
David Jasper.
You know him too, don't you?
Died a young man.
I always try to touch the names around it so people will know they're not alone on the wall.
Too many stories start to come across. Too many tales start coming across.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
Right. Watch and learn, gentlemen. My name is Hamilton Bernard, 7478 0231 Corporal, United States Marine Corps. You guys make sure you say thank you for your service to Jesus. I'm an era vet. That's a combat vet. Big different kind of speech.
Donald finished his time in the Navy, had a family, and is now making peace with the past.
No, it's all different now after everybody's starting to see the light. Well, what happened with Vietnam is at least opened a lot of eyes for the rest of the veterans coming up behind us.
The next generation, helping him face the emotions.
Be an experience of a lifetime. What better sidekick can you have than your kid?
And showing him the legacy he leaves is one to be proud of.
And just seeing how proud his son and so many of the kids, grandkids, and families were of these veterans, it brought tears to my eyes. It still does just watching that footage. And everyone at that hangar was just, there was not a dry eye in the place. And one daughter of a Vietnam vet told me as we were sitting waiting to board the trip back home that during the trip she learned things that she had never known about her father, that he was shot twice and what those terrifying moments were like. He was sharing that with her for the first time. She told me it enlightened her and made her think more deeply about her own life. And like we just saw with Donald on this trip, many veterans were seeing names of their friends who died in the war etched in stone for the very first time. And as we prepare for Memorial Day, tomorrow we'll bring you to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, where our flight was able to pay their respects and remember the fallen.